Hello and welcome to the Cooper's Edge Reading Podcast. This week it's all about sports in books, fiction sports that are only in fiction books and sports in non-fiction books as well. Let's see what the first person's got.
I've got karate as a sport.
What book is it in?
This is in the Sportopedia.
Sportopedia, so is that like an encyclopedia?
Yeah, and you do sports in karate. There's many sports, but I pick karate because that's what I do.
Okay. What can you tell me about karate from it?
So in karate, we have belts, and the belts are white, yellow, orange, green, blue, red, brown, and black. And then they give you like this gold writing on the black belt.
And where do you train to do karate then?
You do it in the dojo.
Nice.
And every time you get like a belt, you need to do like grading to pay. And there's like you can do sparring where you fight people with the same belt, same age.
That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to give you a challenge to try and find a really interesting sport that's quite unusual from the Sportopedia, okay? I'll give you a few minutes and we'll come back to you. What book have you got about sports?
I have got Howard Henry and the Football Fiend.
Fiend.
And so it's all about football. And I chose this one because I play a lot of football and I've been in lots of trials for football teams.
Now, I know you've read Horrid Henry books before. Have you ever read this one?
No, not at all.
Does it look good, though? Would you recommend it?
Yes, I would recommend it so far.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to go back to the Sportsopedia. Have you managed to find an unusual sport in there?
Yeah, I found this sport called kabaddi, and it says that this sport is technically like a rough sport, but I'm not sure if it's like karate or self-defense. It's like an attacking sport when they're annoying you or like stuff like that.
Okay, well, does it use a ball?
No.
No. Do you know any of the rules for kabaddi?
Yeah, apparently it says you have to breathe. You have to hold your breath whilst you're have to tap them and like rough them.
Okay, so it's like tag, but if you're you have to hold your breath.
Yeah.
Wow, and you've got to try and get across a line, it looks like, as well.
Yeah.
So this is a really nice book,
And you have to
Sportsopedia.
go back to your place to breathe again.
Okay. So this is a really nice book, Sportsopedia. It's got some really nice pictures in there and explains all the rules for it. Could you read one of the rules for me?
The raider tries to tag one of the 7 members of the other team and then run back to the side. Each player the raider touches counts as 1 point if they make it safely back to their own side. The raider must take 1 breath before entering the opponent's half by stepping over the mud line and not breathe again until they have returned to the side of the court. To make sure the raider is not breathing, they must repeatedly yell the word kabaddi.
Oh, wow. Okay, so not only is it the name of the game, kabaddi, but they have to keep saying kabaddi, 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 kabaddi.
When you're playing gymnastics, the rules are individual floor exercise lasts 90 seconds for women gymnasts and 60 seconds for men. They are performed on a floor area measuring 12 times 12 meters. A gymnast routine is scored by a panel of judges.
Wow, okay.
Who base their score on difficult artistry, demonstration of required elements, and the overall quality of the performance. Some competition features team events, and teams routine can last up to 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, what book did you find all that in? That sounds really interesting. So that was all about gymnastics and floor exercises and how the judges...
Yeah.
What's it called?
The book that I found it in was
Sportopedia.
Yeah.
Sportopedia. It's a very good book. It's an encyclopedia of lots of different sports. I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'd like to see if you can find a really unusual sport in there to talk about. Okay? Have a little look. I'll give you some time, okay? What do you find?
Eric Lemming, Sweden, former world record holder in the javelin, came fourth in the high jump, the pole vault, and the hammer throw at the 19,000 Olympics. He even entered the discus competition, coming 8th.
Nice. What book did you find that in?
I found it in field athletics.
Field athletics. Do you think you'd have a go at the hammer throw or discus?
No, because I think it's dangerous.
Oh, okay. Okay, so those were non-fiction books. I wonder if we've got a fiction book next that has some sports.
My book is called Astrogym, and it has a made-up sport called shooting star surfing,
Okay.
where they're surfing on meteorites.
So they're in space. Meteorites are zooming through space, hundreds of thousands of miles an hour.
And somehow they managed to jump on there and started to surf.
And they're trying to surf on it. That sounds amazing. So there's not just real sports we're finding these really creative, made-up sports as well. What sport did you find?
It's a rugby book, and it's the Official of England Rugby Annual 2023.
Wow, an official annual.
And what I'm going to talk about today is 2 people. And the first one is Zoe Oldcroft, and she's the World Rugby Player of the Year in 2021. Zoe continues to be at the heart of England's dominant pack, and a magnificent Grand Slam for England, showing why they were ranked the best side in the world. The Red Roses were completely dominant through the tournament. Perfect preparations for their Rugby World Cup.
Okay, interesting. Who's the other person you want me to say about?
Sarah Hunter, and these are a couple of things that she said. I've had the honour of playing in 3 and winning 1, and that's all because some incredibly brave and outward-looking women went. Do you know what? We play rugby. We want a World Cup, and why shouldn't we?
So, is there a Women's Rugby World Cup?
Yeah.
There is. That's good. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we might come back to that in a minute then. Let's see if we can find another sport. We've got another person with another sport.
So what I'm going to talk about is, the book is called On Your Marks, Get Set, Go. And the sport that I'm going to talk about is trampoline gymnastics and rhythmic gymnastics.
Trampoline gymnastics, okay.
So what is trampoline gymnastics? The closest an athlete will get to flying with a few bouncy acrobatic tricks thrown in. The rules. Athletes get 10 bounces to perform a series of acrobatic tricks, somersaults, twists, and other crazy moves. Judges award points for difficulty, execution, and flight time. There are actually points for flying. You lose points for failing to do a trick, falling or landing badly. Whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. The basic training. Just jump up and down on your parents' bed. When they come to tell you off, leap off over their heads with a flying somersault and run away.
Okay, I feel like I have to be responsible and say, do not try this at home. Do not jump off of your parents' beds if we are going to try some trampoline gymnastics. It is very funny, though. This book's really nice. It's very similar to the Sportopedia. I think they're both great books if you're just looking to learn about different sports. Was there another one in there that you found?
Yeah, rhythmic gymnastics.
Okay.
What is it? Female gymnasts perform ballet moves, leaps, tumbles, pirouettes, and other fancy gymnastic tricks while using bits of kit you'd find in the school sports cupboard. The apparatus: ribbon, hoop, clubs, and ball. The rules. For individual event, gymnasts perform once with each bit of apparatus. In the team event, 5 gymnasts perform twice using different bits of apparatus at the same time. Judges award points for things like dancing, how gymnasts use the apparatus, and how good it all looks. The highest score wins. Basic training. Start with the ribbon, as it looks like the easiest, but it probably isn't. Flick it repeatedly at your dad while he's trying to watch television. Then, when he chases you out of the room,
leave a club, a ball, and a hoop by the door so he drips over them.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything about that one. Okay, fine, fair enough. About football, what football book have you found? Because it's not a fact book, is it? It's not a fact book this time.
So I have found Frankie in the World Cup Carnival from Frank Lampard. He was a special international player for England. And on the blurb it says, Frankie and his team love playing football. There's always time for a game, especially when it's the World Cup. But teams from around the world are playing disastrously, so Frank is transported to Brazil in order to save the tournament from ruin. He and his friends have to face up to the jungle alligators, a Rio Carnival, and cheating opponents in order to help football superstar Ricardo rescue the trophy. Can Frankie and his team save the World Cup in time for the final?
Lovely, that sounds really, really good. It sounds like there's some jeopardy in there as well, and written by an actual footballer, so it sounds like he knows what his stuff. And that's in the school library, isn't it? So you can find that in the school library as well. Okay, now we've got a really special book this time. What have you got?
My next book is I Want to Be a Rugby Player, and I got it from Kingsholm Stadium, and it's about a boy who wants to be a rugby player, and he does rugby, and he wins a trophy, and his mum rewards him with going to a rugby match at Kingsholm, and there's someone who robs an old lady, and he stops them with his rugby skills and a bottle cap.
Okay, I don't think we should spoil the ending though, because I want people to try and find it and read it. It might be something we can get in the library, this one. So this is all about Gloucester Rugby, and it's got Kingsholm Stadium in there as well. So it's a really nice one just for Gloucester, which is brilliant. Okay, have we found something else?
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, there is a sport called Quidditch, where everyone has to ride on their broomsticks and fly around chasing a small ball called
Golden Snitch.
Called the Golden Snitch. But they need to watch out because there are obstacles in the way. The other team will also try to get the snitch. Whoever gets it first will get an automatic win for their team.
Okay, and let's go for another sports book then. Over here.
Called The Hammer. The hammer is a heavy ball and chain which is thrown inside a circle, protected by a safety cage. The athlete winds up a big throw, then swinging the hammer round and round, building up speed before timing the hammer's release.
I know this sport is a really famous sport. It's actually in a really famous book. There's a character called Miss Trunchbull that does this sport. From Matilda. So she does this, and then she goes into the Olympics, I think, and she does this sport, and then she does it on the kids, and she grabs them by their pigtails and throws them out as well. So there you go, Matilda has a sport in it as well. Okay, we're going to go over here.
The rules. In jumping, riders complete a course of jumps with lots of twists and sharp turns in the fastest time possible, trying not to get penalised for knocking anything over. Dressage is the horse ballet one, where the horse and rider perform a series of smooth, controlled moves to music. All that's missing are some disco likes. Judges award points for obedience, flexibility and balance, and the highest score wins. Dresses also appears in the Paralympics.
And that's everything we've got time for this week on our reading podcast. It's been a sports week. We looked at lots and lots of sports books. Most of them you can find in the school library.
Open up book, see what you'll find. Magic world inside your mind. Turn the page, let's explore. Every chapter, always more. We're the kids from Cooper Edge, reading tales by the hedge. Stories old and stories new. We've got something fun for you. Book chat fun, let's gather around. Adventure waits in every sound. From the classics to wizard spells, Cooper's Edge we tell in worlds. in shiny armor, lost in jungles or a farmer. Space or ocean, every theme really sparks the biggest dream. Book chapter, let's get